In the recent weeks, Tokara Islands in Japan's Kagoshima have witnessed more than 1,600 tremors. On the 3rd of July, a 5.5 magnitude earthquake was so strong that people faced difficulty standing. The non-stop jolts since the 21st of June have caused severe stress to the area. The Japanese government warned the residents about the possibility of more such tremors. Dozens of residents have evacuated these remote islands in southern Japan. So what exactly is happening in Japan? In this episode of WION Wideangle, we take a closer look at Japan's seismic reality, its manga prophecies, the science amidst all the speculations, and the other earthquakes and their predictions. Earthquakes hit Japan every year, sometimes about 1,500 a year, if not more. Japan is perched on the restless Pacific Ring of Fire and is one of the most tremor-prone places on the planet.
Japan is an earthquake-prone country. An earthquake can happen at any time, at any place, without warning. So people should always be prepared at a reasonable level.
On the 3rd of July, strong tremors were experienced, triggering panic among people. After a series of earthquakes rocked the Tokara Island chain, dozens of evacuees arrived at Kagoshima port from the Akuseki and Tokara Islands in Japan on the 6th and 7th of July.
It's a relief that we can evacuate to a place where it is safe. I pray for the safety of those who decided to stay and also for the earthquakes to stop soon.
Evacuations on a voluntary basis have been taking place. First on 4th July, 13 people, followed by 6th July, 31 people left Akuseki Island. In total, 44. As for Tokara Island, 15 people were transported to Kagoshima on a ferry.
This summer, the widespread panic in Japan sprung out of a different source. It wasn't just about the fear of earthquakes, but an old manga called The Future I Saw, written in 1999 by Ryo Tatsuki, who is a retired mangaka in her 70s. So, what is a manga? And what is the earthquake prediction all about? Manga, which means whimsical pictures, is an umbrella term used for a wide variety of comic books and graphic novels, originally produced in Japan. Originally published in 1999, the manga's first edition gained attention after a tsunami and earthquake in Japan in March 2011. In the manga, Tatsuki had written that a great disaster would hit Japan in March 2011. That prediction actually did coincide with an earthquake that killed more than 18,000 people and caused the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant disaster. Coastal cities as well as vast areas of farmland in the tsunami's path were inundated by swirling waters that swept houses, boats, cars and other debris along with them. Although nearly all of the deaths and much of the destruction was caused by the tsunami, waves along Japan's Pacific coastline, the earthquake was also responsible for damage over a wide area. The costs resulting from the earthquake and tsunami in Japan alone were estimated at $220 billion. The damage made in the 2011 Japan earthquake and tsunami is the most expensive natural disaster in history. To many, Japan 2011 earthquake seemed like Tatsuki had predicted the disaster 12 years before it actually happened. The attention on the manga led to a republishing of The Future I Saw, along with an updated version with new predictions. The manga popped back into the spotlight in 2021 and has reportedly sold more than 1 million copies. In its most recent edition, the cover features the quote, "The real disaster will come in July 2025." And the characters discuss a natural disaster in which the ocean floor between Japan and the Philippines will crack. Tatsuki claims she predicted a megaquake above magnitude 8 would strike Japan on the 5th of July, with a tsunami 3 times the size of the one that devastated Fukushima in 2011. This year, Manga's prediction of a major earthquake or tsunami hitting Japan on the 5th of July triggered panic among netizens, leading to tourist cancellations and travel disruptions. Japan has seen record numbers of visitors so far this year, with April setting an all-time monthly high of 3.9 million travelers. That dipped in the month of May. Hong Kong-based Greater Bay Airlines on the 2nd of July cancelled flights to Japan due to low demand. It said it would indefinitely suspend its services to Tokushima in western Japan from September.
I think for me, the most important thing about traveling is safety. Hearing this prediction, I would also try my best to avoid going to Japan during July and August. If possible, I might delay my trip and go after September.
Steve Yuan of a Hong Kong-based travel agency blamed a flurry of social media predictions tied to a manga.
The rumors have had a significant impact, cutting our Japan-related business by around 50%. However, the demand for other destinations, such as mainland China and Southeast Asia, has grown. This situation has also given us an opportunity to allocate more resources to these markets. When Japan-bound travel demand returns, we'll likely be stronger overall, with a more diversified portfolio. This may not necessarily be a bad thing after all. Yes, in response to the rumors, we noticed that airline ticket prices have significantly dropped, which we believe gives us room to offer more affordable tour packages. For example, a 5-day trip to Japan, which used to cost around $1,274, is now available for just $764, a 40% discount. At the same time, we've introduced earthquake insurance.
Meanwhile, according to a statement released by her publisher, manga artist Ryo Tatsuki has rejected all rumors, saying she was not a prophet. On the other hand, Japanese authorities have urged the residents not to believe predictions of a major disaster. The director of the Japan Meteorological Agency's Earthquake and Tsunami Monitoring Division said that it was difficult to predict the exact time, place, or scale of any potential earthquake with the current scientific knowledge. Japan is no stranger to earthquakes. In fact, it's among the most seismically active countries in the world and the birthplace of seismology, or the study of earthquakes. Japan has regularly grabbed international headlines for earthquake-related damage. So, what makes Japan so prone to earthquakes? Earthquakes happen when two tectonic plates collide and one slips under the other, releasing a sudden burst of energy. Japan sits on top of 4 major tectonic plates, making it one of the places in the world most likely to experience tectonic activity. Every year, Japan has about 1,500 earthquakes. It's not unusual for earthquake activity along the horseshoe-shaped zone, often referred to as the Ring of Fire. The zone spans from the eastern coast of Australia up to eastern Russia and down the western coast of North America and along the western coast of Chile. The Ring of Fire is a geologically active area where earthquakes, tsunamis and volcanoes are common. According to the US Geological Survey and the International Tsunami Information Center, about 80% of the world's largest earthquakes and tsunamis occur in this region. Japan lies at the junction of four major tectonic plates: the Pacific, Philippine Sea, Eurasian and North American, which constantly collide and shift. Japan and its surrounding area accounts for 18% of earthquakes in the world because of these active tectonics. Taiwan and the Philippines sit atop three major tectonic plates and are susceptible to earthquake activity as well. But Japan is a bigger and more populous country than Taiwan and the Philippines, and Japan has a long history of recording and studying the impact of earthquakes and tsunamis, combined with its extensive disaster preparation.
Japan is reasonably well prepared, but every time there's a big quake, there always are problems. And the Noto quake showed that. For example, the roads were highly damaged, so disaster relief had a hard time getting in. And there were evacuation sites for the population, but the conditions were not so good. For example, especially like in terms of living quality, like having privacy for women and things like that. It was very bad.
Earthquakes strike without warnings, shaking cities, toppling lives, and leaving behind unanswered questions. But what if some people saw them coming? Around the world, a handful of individuals have claimed to predict these seismic shocks. Some dismissed as coincidence, others eerily accurate. Let's take a look at major quakes and the people who predicted them. Jin Chao was a Chinese immigrant who gained fame in California as a prophet. The fortune teller was able to predict the weather and other natural events, born in China's Guangzhou as the son of teachers. Chao immigrated to California at the age of 16 in 1873, arriving in San Francisco. As a strawberry farmer, Chao first rose to fame when he predicted the Santa Barbara earthquake. Chao said that he posted a notice in the Santa Barbara post office on the 23rd of December 1920, letting it be known that an earthquake would flatten the city on June 19, 1925. And sure enough, the earthquake struck on the date noted and leveled 70 buildings in the city. The 1925 Santa Barbara earthquake, which occurred on June 29th, was a significant seismic event that caused widespread damage and destruction in the city. The earthquake, estimated to be between magnitude 6.5 and 6.8, struck at 6:42 a.m. local time and lasted for approximately 18 seconds. The event resulted in 13 fatalities and extensive damage to the downtown area, with 85% of commercial buildings being destroyed or heavily damaged. Though 13 people died, it might have been far worse without the actions of 3 heroes who shut off the town's gas and electricity and prevented a catastrophic fire. Other predictions by Chao were cited by Thomas Stork in his 1958 book, California Editor. These include a prediction of the 1923 Great Kanto earthquake and a 1932 prediction of a United States war with Japan that would end in 1946. James O. Berkland, popularly known as Jim Berkland, was an American geologist. He worked for the United States Geological Survey. Berkland controversially claimed to be able to predict earthquakes, including the 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake and a 1994 Northridge earthquake. He rose to fame after an interview was published in the Gilroy Dispatch on October 13, 1989, where he predicted that an earthquake with a magnitude between 3.5 and 6.0 would occur in the San Francisco Bay Area between October 14 and October 21. The 6.9 magnitude Loma Prieta earthquake occurred on October 17, just 4 days later. The Loma Prieta earthquake of 1989 was a major earthquake that struck the San Francisco Bay Area on October 17, 1989. It caused 63 deaths, nearly 3,800 injuries, and around $6 billion in property damage. It was the strongest earthquake to hit the area since the San Francisco earthquake of 1906. The earthquake was triggered by a slip along the San Andreas Fault. Its epicenter was in the forest of Nisene Marks State Park near Loma Prieta Peak in the Santa Cruz Mountains. It struck just after 5 p.m. local time and lasted approximately 15 seconds with a magnitude of 6.9. San Francisco's Marina District was particularly hard hit because it had been built on filled land, and the unreinforced masonry buildings in Santa Cruz failed. Frank Hogerbeet is a Dutch researcher at Solar System Geometry Survey, or SSGOS, a Netherlands-based research institute. The institute has made significant contributions to the field of predictive seismic activity by launching pivotal software like the Solar System Geometry Index, or SSGI. It is the computation of a dataset based on values given to specific geometric positions of the planets, the Moon, and the Sun within a specific time frame. Frank Hogerbeet constantly uploads YouTube videos and Twitter posts with seismic updates on social media handles. Hogerbeet became famous by predicting the devastating Turkey-Syria earthquake in 2023 that killed around 60,000 people. Just 3 days before the earthquake and its many aftershocks, the researcher had tweeted, "Sooner or later there will be a magnitude 7.5 earthquake in this region, south-central Turkey, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon." According to Hogerbeet's theory, earthquakes are affected by planetary alignments. His organization, SSGOS, also trimmed the geometry between celestial bodies related to seismic activity. And then there is the legendary astrologer and clairvoyant Baba Vanga, often called Nostradamus of the Balkans. Baba Vanga has been making headlines for her alleged predictions about 2025. Baba Vanga, the Bulgarian mystic, left a legacy of predictions spanning from 2025 to 5079. Baba Vanga was given the name Vangelia Gushterova Pandeva at birth. It is said that she possessed the ability to foresee future events. At the age of 12, she became blind. Baba Vanga's name carries significance in the Bulgarian language. The term Baba is a Bulgarian word meaning elderly woman or grandmother. Many of her predictions have come true over the years. Before her death in 1996, Baba Vanga had accurately predicted major events such as the 9/11 attacks, the death of Princess Diana, and the rise of China. Baba Vanga's 2025 predictions included shattering earthquakes, and some of them did come true. On the 8th of March this year, buildings came down like a pack of cards. People screamed and ran helter-skelter to find refuge. These scenes unfolded in central Myanmar and neighboring Thailand when a 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck Myanmar. That phrase of shattering earthquakes was widely cited in social media posts in light of the Myanmar disaster. While experts and scientists typically dismiss her predictions as unfounded, Baba Vanga's legacy continues to carry on. So, the larger question remains: can earthquakes be predicted? According to the United States Geological Survey, or USGS, which is the United States government's body monitoring seismic activity, neither the USGS nor any other scientists have ever predicted a major earthquake. It further added that USGS scientists can only calculate the probability that a significant earthquake will occur in a specific area within a certain number of years. In addition, one of the warnings come from this region. Scientists have been warning of an impending Great Himalayan earthquake, potentially exceeding magnitude 8. A significant threat looms over northern India due to accumulated tectonic pressure.
What we can say today, scientifically based earthquake prediction is impossible. The famous astronomer Carl Sagan, he once said that extraordinary claims should require extraordinary evidence. But these predictors are making extraordinary claims with the flimsiest of flimsy evidence. Basically none at all.
Earthquakes can't be predicted. Scientists who study earthquakes say so. The precise predictions of a time, place, and magnitude are not possible with current technologies. It is this unpredictability that makes it all very troubling. Millions living in the earthquake-prone zones live with the fear that a big tremor will strike any moment, altering landscapes and their lives altogether. In a world full of uncertainties, people keep looking for signs all around. And sometimes they find them in the words and prophecies of mystics and sages, even if they are unfounded and unscientific.